Hello everyone, the stream is about to start soon, and welcome to the American Ricci Mahjong League. Today we're gonna be only with me, Stanley, and 12 p.m. Pacific on a Sunday afternoon. So honestly, did not expect anyone to cast with me today, so I will be running this broadcast solo for now. The games are gonna start really soon. Oops, and I need to get this queued in. And so today we're going to be joined with Ross, Ray, Jeffrey, and Eric from our C1B League. So they should be starting in a few seconds. Whenever this pops. So I believe they're currently just playing their third and fourth game of this current session, which ends today. So tomorrow will be a short stream maybe. But today this is going to be a solo stream with me. And we're gonna be into our first hand. Sorry if I am boring by myself. But dealer's gonna start with a pretty decent hand here. Just pretty straightforward shapes and easily callable pawn. If they get the Dora, they could possibly use it, but at the moment it's just like Tanya only. But they can also reach it as well if they really wanted to. Meanwhile, let's see. The player on the right, which is Jeffrey this game. So who started dealer? Oh, that's Ross. Yeah, so Jeffrey is the player on the right. Has pretty okay shapes as well, but looking like it's going to be a Richinomi, if anything. Player across this game is going to be Jeffrey. Jeffrey is the one that probably has the best hand so far. It has Dora 2 with an easily pwnable Haku. The dealer's going to draw the 5 so now. Probably... Oh, cuts away from the 6 pin. Probably looking for some Tanya Chitoy like shape, but also wants to keep the Ipeiko as well. So it's gonna be Ishanten now for dealer. Has confirmed Tanya now. So also is gonna go for the shape. Really wants to non-Peiko at this point. Dropping the 7 so does not affect your efficiency in the Chitoy at all. So I kind of like this play if you're really going for value. So we're going to have to see how this hand turns out. Toyman did pawn the Haku, which now is going to have easy Dora 2 acceptance. Or it has Dora 2 and has Dora acceptance as well for another Dora. Which I don't think anyone's going to drop anytime soon. Meanwhile, Ray is on the player on the left, who's going to be the last dealer of this game. And has okay shapes here. And... you know, easily Pinfu-like shape with Dora, but we're going to have to see how they play out the hand. Since today is just a solo... Oh. Well, this is weird. I mean, now you just cut 7 so, or 7 Mon, most likely. Oh wow, it's going to go for 6 Mon. Going back 1 Shanten to play this Toy shape, most likely. 4s and 6s have not been seen yet, so... you know, it's a pretty good chance that they could actually do something with here. Well, it's not seen from their side, but there's currently one on the right in Jeffrey's hand. I think they would have been Tenpai if they kept 6-9. Yeah, it would be Tenpai. Yeah, they're really trying to commit to this Toy shape, which... or Chitoy? Most likely. Meanwhile, the Amon's gonna get pulled. Now the Toyman with Dora 2 is Ishanten. They have a chance of getting the Dora if Jeffrey on the right decides to throw it later. That's gonna be Tenpai here. Rishi on the 3-Mon for Chitoy is dead. Oops. Yeah. We've all done it, honestly. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. I hope they realize now, or eventually, that their weight is just... that's just an empty... just an empty Ricci. But... oops. We have all done that before. So that's quite unfortunate there.
Gee.
That's gonna be a chi. 4 Tenpai. On 147. That's an oopsie daisies. But man, I'm surprised this Toy just never progressed. In fact, there are still 2 9s left in the wall. That's unlucky. They haven't even broken away from this shape yet. 3 pin is still 1 wall. Wow, this.
Each.
Oh, that's gonna be. Oh. That's a 8 pin Tonki. That's not happening. Con? Nah, you don't con these. Ah, but they're gonna do it, because why not? New Dora. Oh. Gives Dora. Oh. That's quite expensive. Well, we'll be 4 people in Tenpai. Now we'll be moving around to East 1 bonus 1. With dealers starting with Dora 2 of their or double East of their own. While Jonathan on the right just drew Dora, which is pretty good. Meanwhile, Toyman is cookishi-like shapes, but doesn't have enough to realistically go for it. And it's going to be especially dissuaded and happy with their own decision after they see the East pawn. Meanwhile, dealer just pawned double East, but the rest of their shapes are just horrible, so they're going to have to slowly fix these shapes before they want to have a winning hand. Might be a pawn. Yep, it's going to be a pawn for Toyman, so Toyman is going to go for the 2 Rishi sticks in the middle. There's currently 2,300 points in the pot at the current moment. That pawn is going to result in... sorry, I keep forgetting names. So bad. It's going to be Ray on the left, who's going to draw the Dora. And has really good shapes. Currently, Kusuki 2 Shanten, or Kusuki 2 Shanten, needs to pair up one of their tiles, and then finish the 5-6 Gunmen. Potentially can look for a 7-8-9 Sancho too now as well. But we're gonna have to see. Wait, oh no, I think you just dropped a 2 pin. Wow, we're gonna keep a 2 pin there. Potential free 10 on the 1 pin. But that's only if they get free 10 on that side. Might be also keeping 2 pin as a safe tile, since they have a slight hobby of the 3 pins. Should be a 9 pin Mon drop here. Yep. And currently seeing still seeing Kusuki Shanten now for Ray on the left. Meanwhile, everyone's hand hasn't really progressed that much. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. What? Okay, dealer's gonna throw away their East Shanten. Maybe just liking the shapes, wanting to pair. I'm not sure. I'm just not gonna say anything. Meanwhile, Toyman is getting the 3, so could make this a 2-3 Danmen. But it's gonna cut away from the 7-9 pin Konchan first. It's Tenpai now. Should be a Shabo. Shabo 3 pin 8 on. This is quite an unexpected shape, honestly. But this 3 pin will deal in for the dealer if they decide to push away from this 2-3. Which is quite concerning. This is the free 10 I was talking about, so... Now, dealer is Tenpai, free 10 on 1 4 pin. 3 1 pins are out, 3 4 pins are gone. There's only 1 left of each in the wall. It's gonna be Ishanten now for Toyman. Pushing just Yakuhai Nomi at the moment. Tenpai has to drop the 3 Mon, and will do so. Tenpai on 5 so 6 mon. 6 mon, it's 1 walled. And yep, 6 mon is 1 walled, and 5 so is also 1 walled. Or 0 walled, sorry. Quite surprising that this even. Oh, well, this deals in. Oh, but you can swap this. Oh, Basuchi. Oh, I guess you're dealing in. There's no way around it.
Dom.
Yeah, I was like, you could drop the 6 spawn, but it's Suji, so there's no way you drop. That's quite unfortunate. So, we'll be a deal in here for. Yeah. And we'll be a deal in here. Let me swap the POV real quick. Yeah, what's a deal in there for Jeffrey? And obviously, Ray gonna be pretty happy about that win. Did stop the Suji bait, where I think that was pretty unintentional, but either way, it's gonna start off this hand. Dealer with pretty good Tanya-like shakes for a pin food type hand. Really plays itself. Oh, and Jeffrey here on the right. It's gonna call Yoculus West, and has a pair of Dora themselves. They're only 1 with doors right now, and it's gonna call 2 tiles, making them look toy, but Toyman Ray, who just won, is in Tenpai again, an early Richi. Waiting on Shabo 5 Mon 5 pin. There's 3 left in the wall at the moment, so that's pretty good. And this actually might be in Jeffrey's favor that this Rishi happened, because if they do drop Dora, it's going to be a really easy pawn. It's going to temporarily keep the south, actually, on Pot's turn, which is quite surprising. But we're going to see how this plays out now, because... Oh yeah, this is also a Honitsu pivot, too. I keep forgetting. Because their hand didn't start with that many Monzu tiles. Could be Honitsu Dora, too. It's gonna keep the temporary 6 pin, so everyone's just folding out temporarily. Jeffrey's gonna want them to eventually drop 1 Monzu. Oh, that south is gonna be really punishing. That south, keeping that 6 pin is gonna punish the south keep, or the south throw. Meanwhile, dealer is just Ishanten. This hand has a potential double 5-mon run later, but we're gonna have to see. The 1-mon doesn't really benefit your hand, so you can probably throw that. Slow hand overall. 3 8-mons are gone for this 28 hand, so this is very not good. This is just gonna be a slow play overall until everyone just somewhat bails out, / pushes. But it's gonna be a 1-mon drops again, so that's unlucky. I don't think that 6-mon drop means anything for the dealer who's currently just folding, but we're gonna have to see. There's 1 Hatsu gone, so there's a chance that Toyman just draws on our Hatsu. Haku is on Senpai, so it's completely safe, so this should get dropped. Not sure if Jeffrey wants to drop the 6-8 pin, but will do so because of the hand value. 8-mon should definitely come out now because it just got pawned. Well, it should be 9-mon and then 8-mon. Oh wow, it's going to try the 5 away first to block the Honitsu. Oh, and that pawn will eventually give the 5-mon over to the Richi Sumo with Uro 1. So, not Shinobi. So we are now in East 3 with Jeffrey as dealer. And this is pretty sad high pie, honestly. It's not really what you want as dealer, but it's not unusable, so you can somehow make this work. Meanwhile, Ray on the right, who's won both hands of this game currently, has pretty bad tiles overall. Needs to cut away from this Yakuhai. Maybe you can build some Pinfu like shape, but I really doubt it. So it might be a Mon Honitsu as well. After you cut away at some Yako High Tiles. Meanwhile, Toyman across the board, which is yeah, which is Ross is gonna fill the non-men here, and currently saying Ishanten for probably Rishi Tanyao. Meanwhile, Eric on the left, it's gonna have a pretty decent head here. It's gonna fill the Conchon. Really good fill here, and Ishanten now. Really strong Ishanten with a potential 4-4-4-5 shape. So it's gonna be like a 3-5-6 weight. If they happen to fill the 6-mon or the 7-mon first. But we're gonna have to see because everyone's hand is progressing somewhat slowly. Ooh. Eric is gonna temporarily drop away from this 8-mon for a 6, for holding the 3-mon more in favor. Probably trying to go Chitoy as well. Tanya Chitoy. 8-mon is gonna get pawned there. It's gonna pawn the second one. It's gonna be Ishanten now. For Toyman. Oh, yeah, 3 says Dora. What am I talking about? I'm so stupid. Oh, that's gonna be Furryton. Oops. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to take it. So it's gonna be Furryton Tenpai for Toyman on 258. 2s are 3 gone. 5s are dead. And 8s are 3 walled. So there's gonna be 4 tiles left in the wall for this weight. Can also swap this Tenpai. If they pull the 8 pin and then just drop the 7, weighing on 3-6, that can also happen. I'm waiting to see how Eric is gonna play this hand, because they did elect to keep the Dora, which means they're pretty constricted, but it doesn't really matter because Ross is gonna free Tensumo here for Tanya Dora. Welcome to the chat, Fogulus. And it's gonna be East 4 with Reyes Dealer. Has really good shapes overall, actually. Has just cut away from the 9-mon and 1 pin, and then you can get a free Tanya Pinfu. But this is really good shapes overall. And ooh, it's gonna get this 8-mon to pair up with the 6-mon. So this is pretty good shapes overall for maybe potential Richie Tanya Dora with Pinfu added. And then we're going to have Ross on the right with a pretty okay hand. It's going to be most likely Honitsu or Chinitsu of some shape. But we're going to see how this progresses. Dealer does draw the 2-pin to fill a potential, like this 3-sided Sanmenchan, so it's also Ishanten now for... It's just Ishanten now for a really good hand. There's gonna be 2 pawns here, back and forth. And this is gonna give Toyman Tenpai, if Eric decides to take it, which they should. It's gonna be a 9-mon, 9-pin Tenpai. Oh wait, this is actually really bad. Oh, and this is Tenpai for dealer now. Most likely we'll just drop the 1-pin, yes. And then, currently waiting to upgrade for at least, well, Tanya with Pinfu. Well, hoping to upgrade for Pinfu, but also hoping to hit the 5-6-7 Sanshoku as well. So... Oh! It's gonna take the win. Yep. So it's gonna be 3,900. And Ray will take the Tanya. Yeah, we'll take the Tanya Dora. And as dealer, that's going to be 39 instead of 26. So overall, pretty solid hand. I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't take the take the Rishi there when it's a potential 3-Han upgrade. So it was a pretty good play overall. Now we're gonna be in East for Homba 1. Dealer once again starting with pretty decent tiles for another Tanya-like Pinfu hand, and just needs to cut away from these Yakuhai and Turbinals. Meanwhile, that's a good 3-pin draw fill from Ross on the right. Also has a pretty decent hand this time, and just also has Tanya shapes with Pinfu. So just overall pretty strong shapes overall. Toyman with pretty cluttered shapes, but can't make it work after they just cut away from all those useless tiles. But potentially just Rishinomi at the moment. There are 2 people holding the door at the moment, so it's just the East on right and across, but it's going to be paired up now. So this East is going to be very expensive if anyone decides to drop it. Will be just Dora 3 for Mongon, East Dora 3 for Mongon. Meanwhile, dealer's going to pair up the floater 3-so, and it's going to have this 3-4 Danmen, overlapping Danmen with the 6-7, which hopefully they just draw a 5 so it becomes an amazing shape. But overall, they're going to have to work on the shape as well. Ooh, Toyman's also going to pair up the Hatsu as well. Well, Hatsu's just 1 cut, but at least now you can go Otozuke. You don't have to go Otozuke on Dora, and you can just start freely calling. And then meanwhile, Jeffrey on the left is... Oh. They would have drawn the Dora themselves. But, yeah, we wouldn't have really known that, so I don't blame them. It was the right point either way. So, inadvertently gonna give the table quite a scare. So, ooh, it's Yishanten now. It could cut away from the 7-8 Mon. Yep, to secure Tanyao. I would have maybe a little bit preferred the 8 Mon first, because if on the off chance you draw a 5 Mon, you can potentially go Sanshoku. But we'll just keep this potential Sanmenchan here. This is what I This is kind of what I meant, but you would have been free so you wouldn't have been really happy yourself. So you're just gonna have to cut away from it since you've already committed. There's also gonna be Tenpai here for Ross on. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's Ross on the right. Tenpai on 3-6. The 3 is not gonna come out, unfortunately, here, most likely. So they're still gonna have a chance to play it out. And you know, Jeffrey across is a slow hand overall, so the chance that this doesn't, this hand doesn't progress very quickly. Oh, it's gonna be Tenpai. It's gonna be on 258. Oh, it's gonna deal in immediately to pots. This is at least 12,000 here. And it's gonna be Rishi Potts Pinfu Tanya for 12,000 for Ray. It's really good timing overall. Getting the best fill of the Pinfu shape and then reaching for Epots on the Sanmenchan. Very strong overall. Meanwhile, this hand is pretty slow overall. Most likely will be some type of Hornetsu hand if it progresses as so. Also can just be a normal hand if you just cut away from the Yakuhai first, which they will do so. Meanwhile, Ross on the right, it's quite unfortunate that they drew the tile on the Pot's turn, but is currently in with really good shapes overall. The Pinfu type shapes if you keep closed. And Pinfu Tanyao, and yeah, it's pretty good shapes overall. Meanwhile, across, Eric has a Chitoy-like hand, but it's gonna cut away from Chitoy because, yeah, you can go Tanya after you cut 4 tiles maybe. So overall, it's a pretty playable hand though, so I don't mind cutting those tiles overall. Because it's really easy to pull those tiles. Plus, there's a really well-defined shape for you to get to the Tenpai. Probably we'll just commit to the double 1 Mon drop. And meanwhile, Jeffrey on the left will draw the Laura and has East as Yakuhai because we're still in the East round. So could potentially Tonki on that north as well. So we'll just have to see. Dealer is gonna call. Still hedging this Honitsu shape. Currently 2 Shanten for Honitsu, I believe. Yep, 2 Shanten for Honitsu. Or could just take Tenpai right here.
G.
Yep, it's gonna take Tenpai. Tenpai on 3 pin. It's E Shanten now, I believe. It's E Shanten now for Eric across. Was that Eric? Yep, that is Eric. Oh, damn, have I been mixing up names? Oops. I'm really sorry if I have been. Oh, it's gonna be an upgrade for a 3-sided weight here. If you drop 2 pin here as dealer. Probably should be no reason not to. This includes your original weight as well. But we'll decide to not upgrade to the 3-sided weight. So it elects to not take the 369 and only win on the 3 pin at the moment. But the 3 pin's currently sitting across, and I don't know when that might come out, because that's potentially hedging for a 2-3-4 Sanchoku. So yeah. Ooh, and it's gonna be a pawn of East for the dealer. Or not dealer, sorry. For Jeffrey on the left. Has a north still. And potentially looking to use that north somehow. But that 3 pin is probably dealing it right here. So either way, the 3 pin, the original weight, was always going to deal in eventually. And will result in Ray getting more points. This time 2100 was 1500 with 2 Honba. And currently now, in East 4, Honba 3. So will be another okay hand overall. Has 1 Dora, but the shapes are not as easily workable as before. And this hand is probably not going to progress as fast as Ross on the right. Has double Yakuhai, really strong shapes overall, and also has a Dora if they want to incorporate it as well. Meanwhile, Toyman, which is Eric, has pretty okay shapes overall. Ken also has 1 Dora, but doesn't have the free callable Yakuhai as other players do. And, you know, Jeffrey on the left also has really strong shapes as well. Has a pair of the north. Also just filled the 5-so Konchan while I was yapping. So, has pretty good shapes and could just, is Ishanten at the moment. Could call, but I would not here, most likely. Just because you're Ishanten with really strong shapes. And could just Richi Yakuhai here. On a potential Intotsi if they fill the 4-7 first. So it's gonna be a pawn again. Probably could pivot this into a Honitsu shape, but I don't think so. This is probably just be a regular double Yakuhai Tenpai with taking the 3 juicy Honba in the middle. Ooh, it's potential Ipeiko now. Probably will drop 8-mon here for Jeffrey. Yep. And the dealer here is going to draw 9 pin to fill the Nanmen. It's currently 2 Shanten, I believe. Who wants to call that? Oh. It's going to be a call for Tanyao. So this is going to cut away from the Yakuhai pair, and it's going to go call for Tanyao now. This is going to give the player on the right, Ross, the Kutsuki Hatsu. So the Hatsu is just randomly floating right now in Toyman's hand. Will eventually get cut, but their hand is very slow. So it's gonna take a while for that tile to get dropped. Yep. And Ross is gonna Sakigiri the 8-so, determined to use the Hatsu or 7-so as their pair or Shabo 8. But if this looking at America, it's gonna get pawned. Haku's gonna look very bad there because yeah. Don't listen to me. Haku was not bad at all. So yep, this is Senpai now. It's gonna be way on 4-7. 4 bonds are dead, and 7s are 4 walled. So Yep. Overall, it's gonna be like that. So, meanwhile, dealer is gonna draw into the shape. Still changing up their shapes. So still 2 Shanten. Nothing has really changed overall this entire time. Also, while I was focusing on other people's hands, Jeffrey on the left is also in Tenpai for 4-7 pin. Eventually just getting to the Tenpai that they needed after just cutting away from some shapes. 4s are 1 wall and 7s are also 1 walled. So that's not a very ideal Tenpai overall, but you'll have to make do with what you have, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the Steelers 4-7 is also not going to complete anytime soon, most likely, with all the 4s being held, so they can only get on the Tenpai on the 7 here. Or potential Ishanten on the 7 Mon. Either way, this hand is going to play relatively slow. I don't know if anyone's going to ever... Oh, it's Tenpai now.
Eat.
4... Oh, it's going to reach on the Dora, which is pretty safe overall. This is a 5-8, so wait. 5s are dead. And 8s are... Ooh, this Rishi might stop the 7 Mon from dealing in here. But we're going to have to see how they bail this, if they decide to do bail. Won't bail, so it's going to be a run for the triple Yakuhai. 450-200. Plus, I believe, 3 Honba and 1 Richi stick. So, Ross is going to be now dealer again in South. After a lot of repeats, we're finally in the South round. Thankfully. So, either way, this is going to be a really sad hand overall. Maybe a Honitsu Force, but I doubt it. So, it's going to have to probably be a normal hand or Chitoi if possible. Meanwhile, Eric on the right is going to have okay shapes overall, but also just needs to work on it. Has the potential Itsu maybe overall, but still has to cut a lot of those terminals in their hand before they have anything playable. Meanwhile, Jeffrey on the right, or across, has pretty okay shapes overall, actually. And it's going to cut away from the 6-8 Konchan for some reason before cutting away from the Yakuhai. But overall, that's going to be... should be a pretty decent hand. And should be quite good overall for a quick and easy pinfu. Dealer's called 2 times. Probably go for a potential Toy. Yep, should be pulling in. So I think they're probably just bluffing a potential Toy. In theory, we still have So Sushi. So... Oh, no, we don't anymore. No, we don't anymore. So... I spoke too soon. Oh! I did nice. There's their Tortoy. Could Toy then be Tonki East? I kind of like it, not gonna lie. Well, currently it's just Toy Nomi, so we're gonna have to see how this goes. Meanwhile, Ray on the left, who was on a dealer rampage at first, is gonna be pretty good shapes overall. Yeah, just easy Taiyao Pinfu again. Don't know if they really want to reach against this open dealer hand, but we're gonna have to see how this goes. Meanwhile, yep, everyone's hand is not progressing really well, except for, dealer called 3 times, but that hand is gonna be quite hard to finish. They do need to get the 5 pin, which is being held across. And 5 pin is such a great and easy to use tile for 2 players that, well, actually maybe just across, because they cut away from 6 pin for Ray, so 5 pin might be a cutaway as well. Also because Ray is hedging a 2-3-4 Sanshoku. It's gonna be Ishanten now for Jeffrey on the cross. Jeffrey across is probably just Richinomi at the moment. Has to push up the Risos though, so we're gonna have to see how this goes. Doesn't elect to keep the 9 pin again, could have been a Pinfu like hand, but we'll just try to maintain this Ishanten. I mean, what's Ishanten overall? No matter what it was. Oh, it's gonna be a 5-pin's gonna get dropped. It's gonna be Tenpai for Tonki East. Tonki East is 2 left in the wall. And this is currently just Toi Toi Nomi. And can only be Toi Toi Nomi. Unless you get like West or North and then use like Conjuring Sean. I mean. Can you get 8 says too? Oh, you can't get 8 says for a Conjuring Sean. I mean, you can con for Dora 3, right? Or Dora. Yeah, you can still con for Dora 2 if you Tonki East. And we don't have seen the last North yet, so it could be. Still could be a con indicator. Toyman is currently slimming down their shapes, potentially losing their Tanyao at the moment, but we're gonna have to see. We'll not choose the South, obviously, because it's already 3 cut. And now, Toyman is some Kutsuki Ishanten. Yeah, Toyman might not even get Tenpai at this rate. We'll keep the 8-pin, just in case they draw the 7-pin for Tenpai. Also can call the 7-pin. It's gonna be a Ricci here. It's Ricci Tanyao at the moment. Oh, it's Tenpai here. Could Ricci. I'm sorry, not Tenpai. It's Ishanten. But, Will Ron for Dealer. Yep. This one was pretty good overall on the wall. I mean, there's 2 left, so Dealer is going to run for Toi Toi Nomi for 3,900. Oh, Dealer starting with insane shapes. 4 pairs. Could be Tanya, or not Tanya. It could be Chitoi. Could be Chintz if you really wanted to, or Toi Toi. But overall, should just be a closed hand. It does have Dora too, so the value is there if the dealer does want to push. Meanwhile, Eric on the right has pretty good shapes overall. Maybe might need to slim down on the pairs, but either way, pretty good shapes for an easy Pinfu hand. Meanwhile, Cross also really good shapes. Does have 1 Dora, but could just cut it for Tanya maybe later. So we're going to have to see. And it's going to have a really good 6-pin fill right now. So either way, it's going to be a quick and good hand most likely. While Ray on the left, who did unfortunately deal in today's Tonki, is currently 2 Shanten with Pinfu, Tanya Pinfu, probably Rishi Tanya Pinfu later. Maybe they can potentially shift into a Sanjuka somehow, but there's a very unlikely chance that that ever happens. They do a triple shift maybe. Well, nope, it's going to be Ishanten now instead for the Pinfu. Dealer's going to have a really rough time catching up the turn of speed to at least the hand on the left and the hand across, because that's Tenpai there. Should just slam the Rishi right now. It's going to be Rishi. Tenpai on 1 4-pin. 4-pin does give Tanya, while 1-pin doesn't. Meanwhile, Ray's going to be in danger if they get into Tenpai here. We'll have to drop the 1-pin. It's really bad overall. But we're going to have... Oh, yeah, the Steelian. There's still a world where you don't Rishi here, so we'll deal into the Rishi Nomi at the moment. Well, we'll see if this is Rishi Nomi or not. Who's going to flip 1 Ura for 2,600? Yeah, there's a potential chance that Ray could have Mawashi, maybe, but either way, because it was just early on with no information, it's probably just better to Rishi and try to fight with better value. Since you know that they dropped Dora, that the value must have been somewhat cheap overall. But especially because it's just a 1-mon. But we're gonna have to see, because now it is... Sorry, it's now Eric's turn to be Tenpai. Has acceptance for the Dora, but overall, shapes are somewhat sad because you have to fill off Konchans and Penchans. and pair up tiles for more blocks. But we'll draw the one block that they probably didn't expect to draw, which is the 9-pin. That will fix their pair. And just needs to fix their shapes. Also has potential Itsu as dealer. Meanwhile, Jeffrey on the right has pretty okay shapes overall, but we'll need to somehow eventually fix those shapes and fill a few Conchons before they get to Tenpai. Ray on the cross also has a very slow hand overall. Did unfortunately sumo greed Haku twice, so that's just a series of unfortunate events, but the 5-pin fill will be good for potentially a Tanya shift eventually, maybe. While Ross, who was the previous dealer, is going to have a really rough hand. That's like 4 Yokai they still need to cut from, and the shapes are there, but they will eventually need to slowly get there. So probably won't be a Tenpai until maybe roughly the end of second row at this rate. Unless they fill 4 perfect tiles. Which they will not, because that's just more likely to happen. So overall, everyone's hand's just pretty slow. Wow. We'll cut away from the 1-pin. Does not want the Junkan, which is the 1-3-5-pin shape. Yeah, well, it doesn't want the shape because, yeah, I think they just want to play for Tanya. Well, it's not possible actually. Well, it doesn't really matter because now you're just gonna cut 3-pin for the 5-6-pin. Yeah. I'm just not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna try to not figure out what is going on there. Meanwhile, across, Ray has a pretty good hand. Currently saying 2 Shantan, I believe. Dealer is going back for A10. I'm not exactly sure, but that's E Shantan now for Twim and Ray. Has pretty good shapes. Again, Richie Tanya. Oh, has 8,000 potentially if they Richie Tanya. Richie Tanya Pinfu Dora. Richie Tanya Pinfu Dora. Yeah. I don't think they're ever gonna get the 5-4-5-6 on Shiku, but it could be a potential 3-4-5 shift eventually. But that's only if they do get there. Meanwhile, this could be a pawn from Ross on the left. Yep, just gonna pawn the 6. Gonna I haven't lost their pair yet because they still have a pair of 5 so's, but can only win on Tanya, which is gonna be really rough when 6 so's are not looking like they're easy to come across on this table. Ooh. But it could come out if they cut their... Oh, it's gonna cut from the... 3-4 side. So Ray could potentially have a Dama Monkan here if they draw the 5-mon on their own. There is just one 5-mon left in the wall, so we're gonna have to see how this turns out because... Oh! Okay. Yeah, so Ross is gonna fix this with their hand shapes with a potential... Could have been a potential guaranteed Tanya shape, but it's gonna cut away from the 5-6 or 4-5. So they're not relying on the 3-6, which one side is Dora and one side is you pulling the way, so there's like no left. Or none left. So yeah, Ross is currently weighing on 3-6 pins, 6-9 so for Tenpai. Might just call for K10 at any time now.
Each.
It's gonna be Tenpai for Chitoy. Is okay. Yep. Jeffrey's gonna reach on the once cut hot south, and we're gonna. Oh, it's pretty good 2-wall. I mean, I feel like they should just sumo here, but there's a chance that they're just 2-walled. They're just really sad. Meanwhile, Ray's probably figuring out how to bail here. It's gonna drop Gambit to 7 pin, which makes the most sense. Oh, South just deals in here.
Don't.
Yep, so there's this. It's just too good of a wait with 2 left. Oh, it's gonna flip Ura 2 on the tile that they were weighing on. It's gonna be 8,000 points for Richie Cheatoid Ura 2. Jaffrey with a great win will put themselves in a challenging position to potentially take 2nd place here. With great shades, 2 Onkos of East and 7 So. And I mean, this is honestly, like, I look at this hand and it's just, I'm like, in my brain, I'm just like, Suonko, Suonko, Suonko. But most likely we'll just be Toy Toy Sonko or something like that. Or just Toy Toy. We should just pawn here. Just go for Toy Toy when the shapes are just gifted to you. But either way, really strong start from the dealer. Meanwhile, Ray on the right, pretty slow hand overall. We'll need to fill the Conchon of the 3 pin and then need to pair up 1 tile. But does have Richie Pinfu plus 1 Dora, potentially. Meanwhile, across the some probably just Honitsu eventually. Yeah, it's gonna probably just be something like Honitsu eventually. This Tenpai here for dealer on 1/4 pin. Oh, I mean, I don't think, I think they could potentially win the Dora for East Dora, but I don't know who's dropping Dora. 1 pin has a high chance of coming out from Ray overall. Yeah, Ray has a high chance of dropping a 1 pin for, it's a cheap deal and it's just East only. But if they build on top of that Dora shape because it's just near Dora, then I wouldn't be surprised for Ray to just not ever. Okay, yeah, they're gonna throw it here. Huh. Doesn't want the 1 pin. Is gonna give up the win and is determined to wait on the Dora here, which I kind of do like this play overall. I just find it is a Honitsu across. Should give free. Yeah, it should be pretty good for the dealer here. So now first hand has passed, so they are able to win again on the 4th pin, which could not win on that turnaround. But no one was dropping the Dora, so Dora won't come out yet because it's still Tanyao potentially for the Honitsu or Chinitsu across. Chi is gonna let the gonna drop away from the 6 So for Eric on the left, which is gonna let 2 Mon get paired up. Doesn't mean anything now, but could now just shift to Tanyao with a 9 pin drop, which is most likely the most common series of events from here on. Should be just a pair drop now. Oh, well, doesn't want the pair drop. I'm technically maintaining Ishanten still for Eric. Eric's Ishanten if they fill the 3 pin or get one of the pairs paired up. Or Onko'd up, rather. They don't want to pair it up, they want to make a 3 of a kind. Ooh, this could be Yakuhai draw. Ross is doing a very good job of not throwing away the Dora. So, I do respect that. Would have dealt in already for 3,900, so... Oh no, this is more than that. Oh, con! I mean, you have to con this.
Con.
Oh! This is okay, this is now Yakuhai Dora 3. This is getting expensive. I mean, I don't suppose they draw the 3rd one here, right? Like, oh my god, I'm gonna start theory crafting, like, at this point. Like Song Anko, East Song Anko Dora 3. Oh, shoot. This is becoming really expensive. It's now a manga for dealer. There is still plenty of 4 pins, honestly. I mean, just 1 left, but there's plenty of 6 pins left. 2 changed into a Song Onko. So, could also just pawn it, by the way. So, I don't know how badly Ross wants to drop this 4-pin anymore, because it's not looking very good. We are approaching the final few tiles of the game. The Dora is gonna now be drawn, so it's never coming out anymore. Also, Tenpai for 3-pin. Ipeiko 3-pin. Oh, the Hornisu is now gonna pair up the 4-pin, so no one's ever gonna drop Dora anymore. The only way this dealer monstrosity ever happens is that. Oh, wait, they have a chance of dealing in, actually. They draw 6-pin and then. Yeah. That's not good. Alright, I hope 6-pin never gets drawn here, actually. That way the dealer gets saved from this Ipeiko dealing. Yep, so will be 3 people in Tenpai. And that was a exciting con. For some reason, the 6-pins are just both in the dead wall. Oops, that's unfortunate. But now Jeffrey's going to run it back as the dealer again. We are in South round, so this is the Yakuhai South. But we're going to see how this goes overall. Oh, it's going to be an easy Konchan fill for the dealer. This is looking very good overall. Meanwhile, Ray on the right, classic again, has consistently starting this hand with really good shapes overall. Well-defined shapes for easy hands. And yeah, I'm just currently 2 Shanten right now. Same for easy Pinfu, Rishi Pinfu, Dora hand. Meanwhile, across, these shapes are just horrible, honestly. So needs to take some time to potentially build some possible better shapes. Currently, Ray is now Ishanten. So yep, Ishanten now. Most preferably wants to draw the 5-mon here for a Pinfu hand, but would not be opposed to just getting Tenpai here, just in general. Meanwhile, Eric on the left is now going to pair up the Dora. Currently sitting Ishanten currently. Potential could Dama this Ipeiko if they do draw this. Well, any side of this. Oh. Now you can just drop 9, so for Chitoi, potentially. Also could if they Uncle up the Dora, okay. So it's gonna be a Tenpai Richi on Con 5-mon, which is not surprising actually. Ooh. Okay, so Eric is gonna pull into Breaky Pots, but as well as forced to go Tanya out here. It's technically Tenpai on 5-8, but there's no Yaku Tenpai, so they're gonna have to cut away from 9-1 first. And then most likely, okay, if you draw 6-mon, you'll be okay. Because you'll drop Gibbet's 2-pin. If you draw 6-pin, you're very 10. Yep. A lot of things that's gonna go on. Dealer is now gonna get Tenpai with that call. We'll drop the 8-mon, obviously, so. Ooh, and the 5-mon's gonna get paired up across. Oh, it's Tenpai now for the Dora 2 hand on the left. Most likely we'll just cut 7-mon. There's no reason not to. And now it's gonna be 3 6-pin. Oh wow, there's a lot of red tiles currently on the board. Oh, that's dealing in right there.
Go.
Which is quite unfortunate for Ray, but overall, a pretty cheap hand to deal into with how many points you are. So now we're in South 4. Ray is the last dealer with 50,000 points. A commanding lead, even though Ray did deal into somewhat cheap hands, but this hand is pretty good. Once again, just starting with at least 1 Dora almost every hand. This is really strong overall. So I'm hoping to extend their lead even further with this hand before they close up the game. Meanwhile, Ross on the right with a really strong hand overall. Dora with Tanya and really solid shapes. His hand's just done basically. Now they're just waiting to get the Tenpai. We'll draw the Haku though. I'm not exactly sure if they're even happy about drawing the Haku, but they're gonna keep it temporarily and even keep Hatsu as a floater tile. It's gonna point the 3, so it's gonna want to Atsuzuke on the Haku. They are currently in third place and would like to maintain a second, so because getting over 30,000 with that hand is pretty unrealistic, so they're gonna have to potentially get a little bit more points because I believe 2,000 is not enough at the moment to, unless you direct Toyman, which is Eric. Toyman Eric currently has okay shapes actually. It's currently Ishanten for Richinomi. I mean, preferably wants to get... Ooh, okay, that's a really strong upgrade if they do take it, which they will. It's gonna be a Richi Pinfu. Maybe if they like reach Pinfu Pot Sumo enough to get above 30k. But overall it's gonna Richi Pinfu Sumo Ura. Oh, I mean now you should just take the Richi. Oh, should you actually? Oh, I mean you should. Well, you have to in order to go above 30k. So, and this 30k we're talking about is just the floating Uma in our league. So, it wants to achieve above 30,000 in order to, you know. Oh, it's gonna be another Hatsu. It's gonna be the Hatsu paired up here. Ooh, this is not good. This is now Tenpai for 3,900 at the moment. For Ross. If Ross wins this hand, they will overtake this Richi by Eric on the cross and will get second place. So we'll rob Eric of a decent amount of points. Meanwhile, Dealer is just slowly bailing, I believe. But yeah, we'll slowly bail this out. We can drop 3 so, 2 so, and then see how the hand goes from there. 3 so was the pawn. It's pawned away, so that is free 10. And if they try to win on it, so skip it at the moment. So 2 so should be blocked up by the 3's gone now. That's probably what Ray is thinking. Ooh, that one pin's gonna deal in here.
Don't.
I mean, now you just hope you flip Ura 2 on the pair. But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. So we are gonna approach the end of this game. Ray with a commanding lead, 50,100 plus 40.1. Meanwhile, second place will be Jeffrey. Played not that bad overall, minus 2.4 unfortunately because of the floating Uma. And then third place will be Ross, 22,700 at minus 12.3. Heftier punishment because there's the floating Uma as well. And then also, Jeffrey, unfortunately, fourth place at 19,600 minus 25.4. So, overall, the standings should get changed a little bit, mostly just for Ray here. So we will go into this. Oops. This is, here we go. So this is currently, with the standings updated, Jeffrey will go down quite a bit here. Still maintain their 6th place, I believe. We'll drop from 5th to 6th, actually. Currently plus 57.0. Ray will be 7th now, with a huge bump up, plus 43. And Eric, who just couldn't do that much that game, will be 9th place at 22.7. And then Ross will, unfortunately, just not really move. Will now be 19th at minus 146.9. And while this was a pretty exciting game overall, Ray had a really commanding overall game, so this was pretty exciting overall. But now we are going to go on a slight break, They are going to be coming back in a few minutes, but I need to grab some water because I'm the only one talking so far. So we'll be right back in a few minutes, probably just 2 or 3 minute break. Stay tuned. And we are getting now into our second game of today, which is the fourth game of their series. And they should be starting in a few seconds overall. Ross is going to be the first dealer again, with Ray as the second dealer, and Eric will be third dealer, and Jeffrey will be the last dealer. So it's just a swap of Shimucha and Kamicha. And we will now be in our second game. Ooh, it's pretty okay hand overall for our dealer. Pretty strong shapes. Tonyo shapes after you just cut away from some useless tiles. But wow, Ray. Oh, there's a DC. Oh, okay, not a DC. Yeah, Ray has really strong hand. 2 Onkos of 6 and 5 So's. I mean, technically just eat Shanten right now for potential Song Onko if they just draw 6 or 7 pin. They're both 1 left in the wall. It's the most ideal draw, and then if you just draw 10 pine and just go for Suanko Tonki, lol, or potential Suanko. But overall, they could also just pull in the Dora. I would just pull in the Dora if it ever comes out, which I don't think it should come out anytime soon, but we're gonna have to see how this hand goes because I think everyone can currently use Dora. Yep, everyone can currently use Dora, so Dora most likely will not get dropped here. Across some Kokushi-like hand, or maybe a Honitsu Force, but needs to fix the shapes after they drop the triple die sunken Dret. Not really, it's just 3 Fleur tiles. Meanwhile, on the left, Jonathan will play their hand somehow. Have to just cut all those Yakuza tiles and then it's natural to play the hand. But unfortunately for this hand by Ray, the shapes are... Well, the value is there and it's great, but unfortunately it's very limiting of how you can get to Tenpai. So that's why they're just stuck there right now, just swapping out tiles left and right. Ooh, might just chi here? Okay, won't chi. We'll draw the 5-pin for a better Ishanten now. More acceptances can drop that 5-8-pin. Yeah, it can set 5-8, 2, 4, 3. Okay, 5-8-pin. No, 5, 6, 7, 8-pin. 2, 3, 4. So. Yep. I'm like trying to process this really. But meanwhile, the Hatsu was paired up into the triple Yakuhai hold. Like floater Yakuhai hold. And should eventually cut away from those shapes. Yep, we'll eventually just cut away from those shapes. And dealer is slowly progressing their hand now. Ishanten. Yep, just currently Ishanten now for Rishinomi. Or Rishitanyao at the moment. I don't think anything...
Home.
Ooh, will be a pawn here. Yeah, I was like thinking when this pawn was maybe gonna come out. Should just be the Chun. Okay, it won't be a Chun drop. Won't be a 3-so Sakigiri here. Determined to Kutsuki the 7-pin, even though... Okay, I was like, even though the 9-pin got dropped, but now 9-pin, thankfully, is redrawn. Tenpai on 8-pin. 8-pin, I don't think is coming out anytime soon. Oh, it's Tenpai now for dealer. On Shabu 5-pin 7... Oh, that's not good. Should be a 2-so drop here. I believe. This weight is insane if they do it, but I'm not sure if they can if they're able to. Like, I mean, it should just be 3-6. Oh, what? Yeah. I'm not sure. I think they just maybe got confused by the shapes. Because it's really confusing. I believe the 2-so drop would have been just a 5-6 weight for infinite points. But we'll be a sumo here for double Yakuhai Dora from Eric. Drawing the last 8-pin left in the game. So now our second dealer is Ray. Ray is somewhat sad shapes overall. Not maintaining the maintaining the same flow. That will draw another 9 mon for a Penchon for Ipeko potentially. Meanwhile, Eric on the right was rewarded for holding those Yakuhai tiles. So now is currently gonna somewhat try to play out those shapes overall. Meanwhile, Cross has 1 Dora, and the rest of the shapes is really Tanya-like. So I have a feeling that Jonathan's probably just gonna cut away to just eventually go Tanya. We'll drop the Dora eventually, but I don't know when they feel like doing so. And Ross on the left has a pretty slow hand overall. Nothing much to say except for need to cut the 8-9 Mon Penchon. Just gonna cut away from the 8-9-9 shape that they have at the moment, but yep. And then probably eventually force Tanya out and then hold a few floor tiles. The dealer's gonna draw the 8 Mon. Can you now not have to play the Ipeko Penchon, which is not the most ideal shape. But can always keep it, so but the rest of the shape's still somewhat bad because they need to fill Penchon Conchon before they get Tenpai on Richinomi. As dealer, it's not what you want. You could argue that they could have kept the 1 Mons for Chinitsu or Honitsu, but it's quite hard at the moment. across is slowly making its way through. They've come away from 2-4. Because they had too many blocks, I believe. So, it's currently saying 2 Shanten, I believe. Because 3 pin. Oh. Yep. It's currently saying 2 Shanten. Ross does not want the 1-so to complete the shape. Wants to get Tanya no matter what. This is currently E Shanten now for across. Will cut the 8-so. Wants to potentially play for a middleweight. Also, maybe just wants to maintain the... Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So... He'll be E Shanten across. Dealer is now going to finally draw into the Ipeko shape. Ooh, and Ray... Or not, sorry, not Ray. He's being Eric on the right will now be able to upgrade to Tanya if they eventually get to Tenpai. Potential 5-6-7 Tanjik as well. Or 6-7-8 shift down. Dealer is gonna be somewhat sad that they dropped away from their double east. Oh, I guess if this was played like perfectly, you would be Ishanten Tenpai for like East. Oh, well, this is Ishanten. We'll cut away from 2-1. We'll cut away from 2-1 Penchan. And we're gonna see how this eventually turns out, because everyone's had progressing very slowly. Oh, well, this actually would have just been Cheats Tenpai. This would have been Cheats Tenpai, I guess. Dead 9 months and 7 months. Yeah, it's not happening, but...
Gee.
Deal's currently Ishanten. Wants to call the Tenpai eventually somehow. Don't know how they're gonna do it, but... 4-pin. Oh, now has a pair potentially. They get 7-pin from dealer. I don't know how that 7-pin is getting dropped though, but it could happen. Oh, I talk too much. It just got dropped.
Gee.
Tenpai now on 5-8. Yeah, I don't think this 5-8 is coming out from
Kang.
Con. Wow. Con. I mean, it's Tenpai waiting on Con Faiso, so gonna break away from...
Gee.
It's gonna go to Yakulas Tenpai now.
Dong.
So it's gonna let Eric on the right just run for 1,000 for Tanya only. And now Eric is now a dealer. Currently. And with, ooh, double east. Double east, that is Dora. So it's gonna be instant Mongon minimum for 12,000. So everyone should be quite wary about dropping Dora here. This is gonna be very punishing for anyone who does drop Dora. Also has a really easy Honitsu-like shape here. Just needs to cut away from 3 pin tiles. But we'll draw the 3-pin, so we'll just probably just hedge for a normal hand actually. But the rest of the table is gonna be progressing quite slowly actually. Yeah, so this could be Jeffrey on the right. Has a pretty slow shapes overall. Potentially hedging for Chinitsu or Honitsu, depending on how the hand turns out. And ooh, dealer drops a 5-so. Probably okay. I was like, may cut away from 7-9 so you can still hedge the Honitsu, which I personally would have preferred. but I do not mind this either because you determine your shapes a bit, but you're still the same amount of. You're still 2 Shanten no matter what. So I would have preferred the 7-9 because. Yeah, because you still need to cut away for the same amount of blocks eventually. So. And you can maintain the Honitsu shape. But it doesn't really matter because across. Oh! Ross is going to draw the Dora. It's going to hold on to it for a bit. Also has the West pair. Waiting to pair it up so they can potentially go for just a quick and easy win, most likely. Meanwhile, Ray on the left, slowly building up that hand, has Ipeiko shape. Needs to cut away from the 2-1 Penchon so they can get Tanya as well. Potential. Oh, there's so many Anko of West, tripled up today. Like 3 of a kind play. So it's gonna be a West Ankoed up. Now could potentially Tonki on the door as well. So it's gonna be very bad if all those sides are being held. This also like somehow the meta of this table has become hold 2 Yokohai tiles that are 1 cut and then eventually just draw the second pair yourself because you're just that much better. Will be slightly punished now for the not cutting away the 9-7 pin first. Because Wood had a Anko. Yeah, would have had an Anko. Or not Anko, would be a pair of 7-9s. And then you can now just force an easy Honitsu. Ooh, that point unfortunately is going to give Ross across the second Dora. So now Dora is now Mochi Mochi, but Ross is currently the most flexible. Potentially going looking for Toy as well, but also can just go into a Cheat Toy waiting on one of those Dragon Yakuhai tiles. Meanwhile, Dealer is now swapping to Honitsu so they're not forced to Otozuke on the east. Ooh, this is not good because. Yep, Ross is now speeding up the hand. Does not need to win on the east because they already have the west. This Tenpai now. 1-4-8 pin in Totsu weight. Very strong weight actually. Well, sorry, I take that back. 1 pins are dead. 4 pins are 2 gone. 8 pin is 1. So there's 3 left in the wall. That's actually a pretty typical Ricci. But it's going to be punishing for someone to push this. Just simply because they don't know where. I mean, it's going to be such a free deal, and actually. There's probably no one that ever. Yeah. Well, Dealer's somewhat struggling to get 10 pint now because they have to drop 4 mana and 7 pin, which is both not safe. You can argue that 7 pin might be safe because of the 5 pin wall. That's pulling across plus 1 in discards. But it's gonna drop to 7 so first. It's not Tenpai. 7 Mon East. East is Mochi Mochi, so it's definitely not coming out. Wow, 7 Mon is. Let's see, 7 Mon is just 1 left. It still can win on this tile. So it's currently 1 versus 3. 1 being across and 3 being on the right. Wow. 3 left? I mean, this eventually wins, right? This 1-4-8 pin? I mean, this is gonna be so sad if you deal in here. Toy Yakuhai Dora 2. Well, the 4 mod does not deal in here, so they're going to be very thankful about that, because that is Otozuke. One of the 4 pins have been drawn, so it's now currently 2 versus 1. Oh, 7 mod's just going to go gone now, so it's 2 versus 0. Oh no.
Kang.
No! No! No!
Don't.
No! Why, Ross? Yeah. Con the way to second the last tile, which does make the last tile that Ross draws from the dead wall the Hote tile. We'll deal in for Richie Hote, thankfully. And just Richie Hote. That was wild, though. Half respect for conning, but... yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Oh, okay. Well, okay, I've recovered from the aftershock of that con. So, dealer here with pretty okay hand. Not really, it's pretty bad. The shapes need to be fixed a bit. And you'll get somewhere eventually. Meanwhile, on the right, will be a 2-pin pawn. Going for Tanyao, potentially Toy as well. Which does mean that this hand will eventually drop the Dora, most likely. And that's not very good because across is currently Ishanten for Honitsu. Oh shit. It's like Honitsu Infinite. Wait, this is Ishanten for Honitsu Chi Toy Dora 2. Yeah. I don't know if that one's gonna happen first. More likely they're gonna just pull in and spit Tampai on the other one. Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Probably does not want the 7-mon, actually. Oh, it's gonna go want the 7-mon. It's gonna kind of wait for the south here. Just simply more, this is just simply a matter of more acceptance tiles. But does this break away from your Ishanten for Honitsu Chitoi? Which I'm not a super big fan of now, but... ooh! Ross is doing something fun. Now, Ray's gonna get punished for dropping the south because would have been Tenpai, but now Ross is gonna be Ishanten, potentially waiting for Chun Tonki for Toy. Ray cannot use that 4-mon at the moment, so this might be a huge punish for Ray for not maintaining the Chitoi Ishanten. It's gonna be Tenpai now on Chun Tonki. Chun Toy, so it will be 8,000 if yeah, if Eric on the left wants to ever drop it for some reason. Thankfully, this Honitsu across can still win because the Hakus are still 2-wall. Ooh, this Chun is looking really dangerous. Yeah, I'm not surprised anymore. The con will be the new door will be Wonso. Now this dealer Honitsu is now just worth a bit more. Will be worth 77 maybe if you sumo, which is 26 all. Or if you win the normal run, I guess you just get 5,800. Oops, stopped away from double East pair. Con. Okay, now dealer has Mongon. Yeah. Headless Ishanten currently. There should be Tenpai here. 1, 2. Oh, no, it's not Tenpai. I'm sorry, I'm just trolling. Yeah, I was like, does the 1-mon help? Because I thought this. Ooh, this is really weird. 3, 4. Wow. Yeah, dealer really wants to get to Tenpai, but Ray's doing a really good job not dropping any of those tiles at all. I mean, Ray even broke Tenpai to just not drop the Chun, which is just very good play overall. Yeah. This is good play overall by Ray, and Ray is now just slowly bailing. Oh, it's Tenpai now. Unfortunate timing that this Tenpai is so late. All the 3s are gone and there's only 1/6 left, which is being held in Ray's hand. Maybe if you point and you swap your weight. But there's only there's no 2-6 left. So yeah, this Honitsu is now dead. It's gonna be the pawn of the Hakus. Oh no, it's gonna deal in right here. Oh, it's dealing in. It's dealing in for the Honitsu Monk on the cross. Oh wow! Good bail for our dealer. Identifying that it is dangerous. And none of the truths have come out. So we'll bail against this Honitsu. Which is very good play overall. And this is gonna end up with Ross dealing in for 8,000 here. Would it be Honitsu? Wait, is that more? Oh yeah, it's a little bit more. I forgot that's Hote again. What? That's Hote again. Oops. Will be Hote, Honitsu, Yakuhai Dora 2 for 12,000. It'd be very expensive dealing, and Ray is gonna eventually get the hand. A good bail from the dealer will eventually cause Ross to deal in there. Unfortunately for Ross, he was dealing in no matter what. Because that was also a Shabo on the chin. And it would have been way more expensive if you did that. So it was a weight was a 258 Mon. 8s were dead, and it was also Chun. Because Chun was the Shabo on the 2, I believe. Yeah, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So I'm gonna stop talking about that hand because Dora is now 8 Mon, and there's 2 of them in dealer's hand. For really easy 12,000, or at least, I mean, his hand's probably just 12,000 if they reach you, but could be just Tanya Dora 2 for 5,800. But we're gonna have to see because currently on the right, Ray has a pretty good shape to raw. Potential Chitoi. Most likely we'll cut 9-1 for Tanya. But we're gonna have to see. Across, just strong shapes as well. Just really solid blocks and Dora acceptance 4 to 8. There's only 1 left in this game. Meanwhile, on the left, Jeffrey, good bail overall at first, by the way, if I haven't said that enough. And we'll be playing with somewhat sad shapes, but could look for a potential 7-8-9 Sanshoku, but decides not to do so. And we'll be just playing a pretty standard hand overall, with 1 Dora in their hand that they eventually do need to fix into a shape, which is potentially most likely the 6-7-8 shape. Ooh, will be a 7-so drop. It could have been a Chi by dealer for E Shanten. I would not have been opposed to that Chi, honestly, but we will have to see. Dealer's gonna be stuck here for a while with this really sad E Shanten. 7s are 1, 2, 3. Oh, 7s are now. 7s are gone. Obviously, they don't know that from their POV. But 7s are gone, so they only get on the 4 to fix this shape. Are gonna drop the tune here, which means that they could cut away from the 5-6 potentially. Could also drop the 2-mon pair. Should just be a pawn for Tanya, you know. Tanya. Wait, I mean, you drop 5-6, I guess. 5 first, and then you draw 8-mon, you drop 7-8. So. What? 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 Well, it's gonna pull the 6 and gonna cut away from the 5-6 mon shape. This is gonna let this be Furry 10 on 6-9. Huh. And their Otozuke on Chun.
Reach.
Ray's now eventually gonna to Tenpai. Tenpai on this is Shabo, 4-pin Naimon. Would have been Tenpai here for dealer. Otozuke on Chun. But it's now just being sad. By the way, there's no possible way for dealer to get to Tenpai other than Chun.
Home.
Well, it's 1-9 left. No, 2 9s left.
Home.
Good luck.
Home.
Yep, good luck. Oh, I mean, I guess if... You know what happens? So, Ray's on the right is gonna draw the door, and then dealer's gonna pull in and hunt the Tonki.
Yeet.
Oh, but nope. It's gonna be a Richi here for Richi Nomi. Across. Waiting on Con 6-0. 6-0 so dead. Yep. Oh, it's gonna swap to a Shabu here. This is not good if someone deals in here. It's gonna be 12,000 for the dealer. Oh wait.
Dom.
It's paired up. And that's also Richinomi. Yep, so Ray's gonna win through Richinomi on the Shabo. And now we'll be in South 2. With probably just a gifted Itsu by the game. But we'll just have to see how this shape plays out. I mean, you could potentially not do it because you just get a free... Like, you draw 9... Like, you fill the non-con and then you just draw a pair and then now you just Richi. Meanwhile, the hand on the right, Eric, has double south. Double south with potential Honitsu. It's considering whether to cheat at or not, but we'll decide not to. Meanwhile, across, the hand has pretty okay shapes. Has 3 pairs at the moment. If they draw the 4th pair of the north, which is dealer, or not dealer, this is Dora. I don't know why I said that, but which is Dora, they could potentially go into a Chitoi with Dora 2. Oh! And just as I commanded, the north does get drawn. So, it can be now a potential shift over, but also can look for an Ipeiko overlapping shape so they can win Dama. And don't have to reach Chi. Dealer's now going to go into this extended shape of the 3s and 6s. We'll drop the 9-pin because they don't want to play Nitsu at all. We'll have too many blocks most likely if they try to play for Nitsu. Meanwhile, Ross is on the left is building something. Just floating those Yakuza tiles, hoping to pair them up eventually. Dealer is gonna swap their. It's elected to keep the 6-mon at first over the double Nobiton shape. Obviously, it's gonna keep the Dora because it's Dora. Could potentially reach Tonki Richi on Dora. Oh, that's not good. That's a Tonki Richi on Dora. Oh, guess not. Yay, we're going for a standard Richi now for Ray. It's gonna be a 3-6 Nobiton. And, well, no one's hands is actually... Oh, that's not good. But should not be a deal in here. Should be just... Or Yakuza cut here. Yep. Will be a cut on the east that's been 2 dropped. And we'll see how this goes.
Home.
Okay, well... Ross is gonna pull in, which eventually is gonna let dealer sumo. For Richi Sumo with 1 Ura. And dealer start with a strong start again. This is just gonna be a free Yakuhai, potentially Dora hand. To just keep this dealership going a bit longer for Ray. But Dora's now 8 mon. Deals now E Shanten. Oops. And currently on the right, Eric gets a pretty slow hand. That's 4 pairs, could go like coins to Chitoi. This is gonna drop to double south, unfortunately. Was Sumogiri, but it's not what you want to see, obviously. You do want to keep the double south for a bit longer, so you can play for that potential Honitsu shape, which would have been really good because they could have just Pon Palace into a Tenpai, potentially like double south Honitsu Toi shape. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. Meanwhile, across the board, it's probably just some Toi or just Yakuhai hand, most likely. This has the West Yakuhai. Meanwhile, the hand left is Ross. Has a pretty good Tanya shape. Tanya with Pinfu, most likely. So Eric on the right is gonna get somewhat slightly punished for dropping away from the south that early on. Would have been a really nice Honitsu shape and a lot of potential and a loss of a lot of potential value. Ooh, it's Tenpai.
リーチ
Didn't want to wait Atsusuke on the Hatsu. Could have had a potential Sanshoku if they drew the 7 stones themselves. 7 stones are 3 gone though, so this might have been the correct play to just reach here. Waiting on Shabo 9 mon? Hatsu. Oh, oops, that's unfortunate. Drops Dora just immediately. Way after the Richi. And then everyone who's a wait 1 turn believer is gonna be like, oh, you definitely wait 1 turn there. Because you could have swapped the 5 to the 8 and the Richi on the Shabo then. Or could have swapped to a 4-7. Meanwhile, across is Ishanten actually. Oh, Tenpai. Might Richi. On their own Shabo. West 4-mon. Surprisingly, this is a better Shabo. And it's also be another Richi. Oh, it's gonna deal pots to Ross. They also have their own Shabo of their own. Rishi Pots, Tanya Dora will be 8,000 for Ray. Wow, exciting. 3 Richis. And Ross picks up quite a good amount of points. Will be 8,000 plus 2 Richi sticks for 10,000 points. A huge swing there for Ross to potentially come back into this game. Meanwhile, Eric is now our dealer. Eric is going to play a pretty slow hand overall because his hand is hard to use. Potentially could have a 1-2-3 Sanshoku, but elects not to do so. Meanwhile, on the right, Jonathan, who's been playing very solidly this game, is holding 1 Dora with Tanya shapes. Might cut away from it eventually, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, across is just Ross. Also has the potential 1-2-3 Sanshoku. But other than that, the hand's not really going to go anywhere. On the left, Ray has pulled 1 time on the Hatsu. Does already have a Yaku, so they can just do whatever they want. But we'll force a Honitsu here. Yeah, we'll force the Honitsu. And we'll just have to see how this goes. Dealer has drawn 2 nice tiles now, building up to this Pinzu shape. Now they are not forced to go to this like sad Itsu shape. Well, should be a 7-mon cut here. Ishanten now for dealer. Hopefully wants to fill the Ryankan before they fill anything else. It's gonna be a pawn for Ross. Oh! As Otozuke Junchan. on the last one. Junchan Sanshoku. Wow. That's amazing. Well, thankfully there's still one mon left in this game. And the
Each.
Senpai did hold the fort temporarily for probably Sanshoku maybe. But it's gonna fill the perfect tile. Oh wait, sorry. One mon is dead. What am I saying? One mon's in the dealer's hand. So okay, yeah. This hand's pretty screwed by Ross. It's currently Richie on 2 5-pin. 2s are dead, 5s are 3-walled. For this hand. Oh, Tenpai now for the Honitsu. Oh, it's gonna. Oh!
ドン
The timing! And it's not good for Eric. First place direct Ron, second place. And drops Eric under 30,000 now. Ray with a huge win, 5,200 for Honitsu Yakuhai. And with the food bump, it will make it 52 instead of 39. And that's the perfect person to run on, because now you're shooting them. Now you're getting them under 30,000 there. For a huge swing in points, potentially. Now, Jeffrey, who has not really done much, but has successfully evaded dealing in quite often, has now become second place with 28,300. Would like to gain a little bit more points before the end of this game to go above 30,000 and maintain the second place. But this hand is gonna be played somewhat slowly. Has to fill the 3-pin penchant before anything really happens, or they can cut away from it if they build onto their shapes as well. Ishanten now for dealer. Might cut away from the 2-1 here, but also, yep, it's gonna cut away from 2-1 here. And Ross on the right. Eventually gonna get a 2-3 for Sanshoku maybe. We're gonna have to see how this hand builds out though. But it could be Richie Sanshoku Pinfu or something like that. Ooh, dealer now has to eat Itsu shape. Still 2 Shanten, but yep, has this Itsu shape now. So it's gonna be very expensive if this shape does build the way it does. It's gonna be a cheater. Ross is now gonna Atuzuke on Sanshoku.
Chi.
Well, Tanya, I guess too. Nine. It's gonna be Dora paired up now for Eric on the left. Ooh, it's quite a decision here. It's gonna cut away from Feynman. So they can play for the Dora Pinfu shape plus Ipeiko chance. But now all of Dora's gonna be gone. Reyes is gonna straight up just discard the Dora and not even think about playing on that shape. Meanwhile, dealer is now Tenpai. If they decide to, yep, if they will. So it'll be a Tenpai now. Shabo 7 Mon? Or 7 So, 8 So. 8 So is, and 7 So are respectively 1 gone each. 7 is the cross and 8 is the Dora indicator. There's 2 left for this hand. So, it's not, wait, what? Ray just discarded Dora on the pot's turn? Oh, I mean, I guess Ray deals in here then. Eventually. It's the way you drop 9 So and you just don't drop 7 So later. Did he not have... Oh, he didn't have any safe tiles. I guess he could have went 2 So with Sushi, but you're kind of sad. It's going to be a partial build by Ray until Ray maybe runs out of safe tiles. Oh! Well, I guess Ray doesn't deal in here anymore. And Ross is bailed out, actually, so... At the end of this, it might just be only 1% Tenpai. Which is going to be really good, because that will become a dealer swing for above 30k. Oh, that's Tenpai again. Drop the tune. Oh, what? Doesn't even want a 2 Montonki. I'm confused. But we'll be Tenpai either way for Ross. It's gonna stop those huge Tenpai payments. I don't think 7 still comes out ever. So now dealer cannot win this hand, but most likely will be the only one in Tenpai. Cannot win on the Shun there, obviously, because Shun is no Yaku. So it'd be 2 people in Tenpai. Will be Ross and Jonathan. And we'll be just 1,500 points. Plus, obviously dealer wants to win this hand so they can get back the Rishi stick and above 3k and Honba. Will be plenty enough if they just win this hand overall. All they need was 1 Han, but they're at least gonna have 2 here with Chun and the Dora. Meanwhile, on the right, Ross is just starting with an Uncle of East and a pair of West. Probably just a Honitsu shift. So eventually, Chitoi Toy. We're gonna have to see how this hand develops. Meanwhile, dealer did draw a 7-so, which is now paired up. Door 2 here. So the hand's getting kind of expensive here. Meanwhile, Eric on the left is gonna chi for Tanyao. I'm just gonna hover over so I don't have to do the math. 2,300. So that is enough if they just win this hand, because there's currently 1 Rishi stick and 300 points with 1 Honba. 2 tie for second. If they sumo, then it'll be enough for a first or a second or a second place like solo. Sorry. Meanwhile, Ross is slowly building this Chitoi Toy hand. Not exactly sure what this is yet. I don't know. They know either because they're just probably playing for everything. But we're gonna have to see because the tune has not been dropped by Ross yet. So this hand is gonna play relatively slow overall. This could be a good Penchon or Conchon fill for our cross. And it's gonna drop the 8-pin. It's Ishanten now. Ishanten needs to fill the Penchon or Conchon to get the Tenpai on Pinfu. Otherwise, we're gonna have to see how this goes. Ross is determined to build some sort of Chitoi Tanyao like shape. Or Chitoi Yakuhai shape. Maybe Honitsu. I don't know if this is even Honitsu because how it's going. Tenpai dealer is now Ishanten for Chitoi because the tune has not been dropped yet, so you're just really sad.
Kang.
Not really surprised to see a con from Ross. Will be 7-pin as the new Dora. There's currently 1 being held in 3 players' hands, and 1 just dropped. Oh, so this 7-pin is never gonna let... I guess that 7-pin just never wins now. like for dealer, and they're never gonna drop it too because that's just free value. The only way I've ever seen this happening is that you drop 8-9 pin after Tunit's dropped, and then you somehow pivot your hand into like some Omega like big brain play, but
Home.
what is Ross gonna do here? It's gonna cut the 6 pin. Gonna try to Otozuke on a floating Yakuai tile. They would have drawn the Hatsu themselves if they did not pawn. Wow, dealer might not just even get Tenpai here.
Kang.
It's gonna con again.
リーチ
Rishi now for Toyman, weighing on the original Dora 7 so. Has Dora 2 of their... We'll have Dora 2 if they win this hand. Minimum. Oh, that's not good for... Oh, it's gonna drop the tune. Well, and dealer does not take it. Dealer's gonna bail out here and not just take Tenpai.
ツモ
But it doesn't really matter because it's gonna be a sumo here for Ray. Summoing on the last door available. Richie Soup. Uradri. Richie sumo a lot. Richie sumo Dora 5. And it's gonna be Ray again with a huge first. 57,700 plus 47.7. Overall, like plus 90 for today. Second place will be Eric. 23,400 minus 6.6. Jeffrey will be third place, 22,700 minus 12.3. And Ross will be last at 16,200 minus 28.8. And overall, Ray is going to get a huge bump in their score today. Overall, plus 90-ish for today's games. Was at the middle at like plus minus 0-ish. And now we'll be 5th place now at plus 90.7. Please look at the standings on the left, not on the right. And then we have Eric, who just kind of didn't do much in these two games. Well, that'll be 6th place. Fell a little bit. Now will be 61.7. Jeffrey also fell a little bit. Also didn't make any gains today. But will be 7th place at plus 44.7. And then Ross will just dirtle a little bit. It's kind of unfortunate they didn't do much, but will be maintain their 19th place at minus 175.7. So whatever. Oh, is it the ones that here are not updated? Oh, oops! I said the wrong Eric. Sorry, it's Eric DFW. So yeah, Eric is DFW's 9th place at plus 16.1. Sorry, there's 2 Erics in this league. 2 Eric N's. So I hope you don't blame me for doing things like that. And currently, we are waiting for the... I said initially at the beginning of the stream that this was going to be a short stream, but there are potential A1 games that are going to happen, so we are going to go on a small break, and I will be keeping you updated in the Twitch chat if the next game most likely will happen, will be going or not. So we are going to go on a small break real quick, so we will be right back. Okay. I trolled. This is the end of the game. So this is... Next table probably isn't going to happen. So we're probably just going to end the stream right here. Sorry for everyone who I got the hopes up for. But the current game... Well, I just talked to myself for a bit and to y'all that the game next game might not be happening because there is a currently no show. Yep, so the game is currently not going to happen. So, unfortunately, this is the last game for today. Thank you all for watching if you're staying tuned. And please follow us at American Ricci for all updates for when our streams are going live, plus cool Yakumons and any updates for our league. Sign-ups for our league are at AmericanRicci.org, and sign-ups will be until September 18th. For our fall season for our AML league. And over there you can also see the IROMC, which is the International Ricci Online Mahjong Competition, to represent Team America. So if you would like to sub, or even just play in the IROMC, please sign up there. Sign-ups are available until the beginning of the second session. And if you want to watch any of our VODs, feel free to hop over at tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. So, thanks so much for watching today for our short, sporadic stream. And hopefully we'll have more of these streams to cover some of the tables that mostly schedule during the weekends. And at very uncommon times. And thanks for coming and watching for if you 12 Pacific for West Coasters. And just on a random afternoon Sunday for those living in the East/Central Coast. And thanks so much for watching, and there should be a broadcast. Never mind. I don't want to say anything because there should be a broadcast tomorrow, but we have not confirmed either, so there's no broadcast. So we don't want to say anything about that. But please join us for our usual Wednesdays broadcast. There's usually always a broadcast on Wednesdays that start roughly around 5, but sometimes earlier. So that's also one more reason to follow us on Twitter / smash the follow button on Twitch to see more exciting ARML fun Mahjong. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.